Hey guys, it's Nate and welcome to your first secret lesson. Now let me walk you through this page real quick so you can know what to kind of expect when you pop open a new secret lesson. Of course, right here, you're gonna have the video at the very top. Right below that, if there are any tabs or if there's like a jam track to go with it, those icons are gonna be right below the videos. So you can just click on those icons and you'll download the tab or the jam track. Below that is gonna be the secret lesson archives. Now, if you accidentally delete a secret lesson email, you don't have to worry, oh, it's gone forever or whatever. All you have to do is go scroll down to the archive section, click on the secret lesson you want, and it'll pop back up and you'll be good to go. Below that is going to be the commenting system, and the commenting system is probably my favorite part of these secret lessons because it gives me a chance to interact with you guys. You can leave your comments, questions, and even your requests for new secret lessons, and I'll do my best to really make whatever you guys ask for. So the first secret lesson, this one is going to be on changing chords smoothly, and we did a survey asking all the people that are signed up for secret lessons what kind of secret lessons that they want, and this was probably one of the top 3 topics that people had a lot of problems with, and that's just switching from their basic open chords one to another smoothly without having any bumps or blips in between. So that's what this lesson is going to be about. So let's say you have a G chord and you want to switch to a C. Now there are a couple things going on in general when you're switching chords. Your muscles have to know where to go, and that's the first thing we're going to work on, just muscle memory. And before you can switch between chords, you have to be able to actually play just 2 chords and be able to go right to them. So if you know your G chord, but you're a little sketchy on your C chord, switching to it isn't gonna be very productive because you're gonna have your G and you're like, oh, what's that chord again? And then you're gonna remember it and then you're gonna go to it. So the first step to switching between chords smoothly and easily is to actually just memorize exactly what the chords are that you wanna play. So one way to memorize chords a little bit quicker than just, trying harder or whatever is to actually look at what you're doing. Instead of just feeling what you're doing, right? Actually look and memorize what that chord looks like. Feel the shape of the chord. Also, instead, when you get your chord on there, your muscle memory is kind of working. But just stop and see how that chord feels too. So kind of get your muscle memory exercising and not only just going to it, but pay attention to what that chord actually feels like. Look at it too. That way you have 2 ways to remember the chord, and you're a lot more prone to be able to go to that chord if you can visualize it in your head and your eyes, and then if your muscles know what it feels like too. And then once you have the chord memorized, you can put it on, hold there for a bit, take it off, completely off, put it back on, take it off. As many times as you think you need to where you're starting to feel, oh, well, I'm really starting to know how this chord feels. My fingers are hitting the right strings the first time when I put it on there. Once you have that down, with 2 chords, you can actually start to work on switching between chords. And a lot of times, if you're strumming, right? And if you're switching from that G to a C, you see what I just did there? I hit just this C note where my 3rd finger is for the first part of the strum to give my other fingers time to go get in place for the rest of that C chord. So you have that's just one small secret to kind of buy yourself some time from switching from one chord to the other. Now, building dexterity in your left hand is one thing that's really important for you to be able to actually play some of these harder chord shapes like a G. If you're a beginner, those open chords that aren't quite as easy as an A or a D or an E. That G is a pretty brutal one if you're a beginner. And one exercise that I'm going to show you right now is something that's easy, but you can work on it a lot, and you'll see a massive improvement in your chord changing if you do this exercise. All I'm going to do is I take my index finger and my middle finger. I'm going to put my index finger on the 3rd fret of the D string and my middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string. I'm going to play those 2 notes, just those 2 notes. Now you're going to switch your index and your middle finger just like that. So here's where they were in the first place. Now you're going to put your index finger on the 3rd fret of the G string and your middle finger on the 4th fret of the D string. Play those 2 notes. And switch back and forth between those 2 little shapes. You're kind of isolating the challenge there. Instead of trying to make chords with 3 or 4 of your fingers, you're just using 2 fingers. And you can do that once you have it down between the 2 middle strings, the D and the G strings, widen it out 1 string set. So put your index finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and your middle finger on the 4th fret of the B string. Play just those 2 notes. Now we're going to put your index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and your middle finger on the 4th fret of the A string. I know it's ugly sounding, but the point of this is to build dexterity and get your fingers limber. So just alternate back and forth between those 2 shapes. Now the tough one, we're going to alternate that same shape between our index finger and our middle finger on the outside E strings, the top string and the bottom string. So you start off with your index finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string and your middle finger on the 4th fret of the high E string, and play just those 2 notes. And now swap them. Index finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string and middle finger on the 4th fret of the low E string. And just alternate back and forth between those 2. Now once you're done with that, it's pretty easy between these 2 fingers, between the index and the middle finger, right? Try this. Try doing the same exact thing, but with your middle finger and your 3rd finger. A little bit harder. When you switch string pairs, work your way out, it gets even harder. And now the kicker. 3rd and 4th fingers. Do that exact same exercise with those 2 fingers. And the more you space it out on the string pairs, the harder that gets with your hand. And if you can do that exercise, I guarantee you that you'll see some improvement in switching between chords and being able to make some chords that you're having trouble with. All right, well, I hope you really enjoyed that secret lesson. And please, I really want to encourage you to leave your comments, questions, requests for new secret lessons below, because that's why we're here. Without you guys, and without your participation, this is pretty useless. So if you enjoyed this secret lesson and it helped you out with your playing, share it with your friends. Tell them to come to the guitarlessons.com website and sign up for the free secret lessons, or share it on Facebook or whatever. See you guys next time.